Talent is a love of practice, and this is something I try to talk to my students about as well as I try to practice what I preach. And every day I start with a sketchbook. These are some just random images out of different sketchbooks I have, and I have many sketchbooks. But I try to look through these, trying to find images I can use for a larger composition within a painting or a mixed media piece. And this man I'm working on in this acrylic on canvas, mixed media on canvas, is something that I took from a sketchbook. I had the landscape set for a long time. Didn't really know what I was going to do with it. It kind of sat in my studio for a while. But then I found a sketch that I thought would fit, and that's what I'm doing right here. I often make backgrounds, like this is the landscape I'm working on. For a long time it stayed as a landscape until I could figure out what other things I could apply to it. So as I've added the figure to it, I'm going back into the leaves now and bringing some more details. This tree looks kind of flat at this point, so I'm trying to bring out some highlights within the tree to kind of bring some more life to it. For me, painting is about looking, constantly looking. I often put the painting down, take a step back from it, and see it with a fresh set of eyes. Sometimes I have to spend a couple days, maybe even a week, before I go back to it. But it's a process that I continue to practice as I go forward. One thing I like to do with any kind of painting is I paint out to the edges. I'm trying to show that to you here. And a lot of times I don't really like frames per se. I like to bring it around the edge, the larger wrap paintings, and that gives a sense of flow, I think, to the entire painting. This next piece here is really just I have absolutely no idea where this painting is going, and I wanted to show you. This is what happens a lot of times when I'm in probably the first parts of the piece I'm working on. I kind of experiment with shapes, colors, objects, and eventually I'll work it around through just trial and error. But this can be frustrating, I think, to a lot of artists at this stage. But I've learned to embrace it more. I know I'll get to a point where I'll be able to figure out what I'm doing here, but right now I'm just drawing and adding shapes and volume. The colors right now here too absolutely make no sense to me, but I will nuance them. I do a lot of, this is chalk pastel, but I'm also working with water-soluble pastels, and eventually I'll put oil pastel into it. It started as an acrylic wash, so it's always a system of balancing, and I'm not afraid to take something out and put something back in, paint over top of something, or even draw over something. And that's where I get a lot of the transparencies built up in my work. But it is a system of trial and error. I really have no specific plan when I started this, but I will eventually get to a point where I will understand what the painting is evolving into. As I've said in previous videos, I work on several pieces at once, and I think it's a great way for me, but I think I've seen it work really well for students. To concentrate on just one painting all the time or a drawing can make you feel a little static. So it's good to take a break, put it down, start something else, and start building up the surface on something else. So I'm going back to the sketchbook here and just kind of sketching out a profile. Once again, I don't know what I'll do with this yet, but eventually it will find its way into a painting. And here I can kind of experiment with where the light source is, and what this character I'm drawing is going to be about. Sometimes I draw from life, sometimes I draw from found images. Many times I freeze images on CDs or on streaming, where I will draw from a television screen if I find an image I really like. And I like to go back into old movies sometimes and find profiles and portraits that just strike my eye. And I'm not sure why they do, but as I'm watching, I will often find something that appeals to me, and I will try to put it down in my sketchbook. And here's another mixed media piece where you can see the acrylic kind of coming through in the transparency. And I'm going back with chalk pastel, experimenting with color. And once again, I may erase this out, I may paint over it, or I may draw over it. So just a part of my process today I want to show you, but this video is really about, I'm going to get back to the start of, talent is a love of practice. And I am a totally big believer in that. The more you practice, the more you will become efficient at what you're doing. And this can, I'm older now, so I've been doing this for a long time, and I never get tired of practice. I think I still need to do it every day. So anyway, just some insight into my process. I hope you have a great day, and thanks for watching.